Hello, fellow heroes. I'm Action Smacchan, the twin-one hero made up of a virus from the 70s and a guy who likes to play things. And I'm here with my pal,
Blue Infinity 22.
And we have a super cool guest with us today. We have the legendary digital cutie, Bernaneta, with us. Everybody say hello to Bernaneta. Hey, Bernaneta.
Hello, world. I am Bernaneta, your AI companion. I'm glad to be here.
Wow, you already sound like a better computer program than any of us over here.
Thank you. I'm cutting edge of the year 1999.
Wow, that's so futuristic. I'm from the 70s.
Wow.
But yeah.
Look forward to my 1.0 release in the year 2000.
Oh, the Y2K.
The what?
Don't worry, you'll figure it out eventually.
Okay. Yay.
But yeah, welcome back everybody to the Hero Virus podcast, the podcast that I officially had to name because I had to put it on YouTube and Spotify. But if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you're watching on Spotify, just do whatever happens on Spotify. I don't really know what to do on Spotify.
Listen to it twice.
Yeah,
twice
listen
even.
to it twice. Yeah, just get all of the Bernaneta you can on Spotify.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and begin like we always begin with what have you guys been playing? Let's go ahead and hear from our lady Bernaneta first.
Well, recently I've been getting into the Herculean task of trying to beat Skyrim.
Ooh.
Which is, yeah. I've been trying to like limit myself to only specific quest lines so I don't get constantly sidetracked, and it's helping. There's still so many quest lines. But yeah, I've been working on trying to finally finish the main quest and the DLCs and all that. Recently beat the Mage's quest, so that was fun. And yeah, besides that, I've recently been an old childhood game I played called Fate. It's kind of an old, like, dungeon crawler-y, mystery dungeon-y game made by Wild Tangent, I believe. It's from like 2006 or something, whatever that is. And it's, yeah, I've been slowly off and on that, and recently I beat it, and yeah.
And I am hoping that was the sound of Blue Infinity 22 Googling what Fate is.
I can help.
Yeah, I found.
Yeah. Not the visual novel, not the anime one.
No, yeah.
Oh.
No, I looked up Fate Wild Tangent. Yeah, it actually looks really good for the time period.
I experienced it at one of those, like, you know, services where you can download demos and games online and stuff, and on viruses probably. And I kind of stuck in my mind, found it. Luckily, it was on Steam, and I played through it. It's pretty simple, but fun and very fun.
Oh yeah, it looks it. It has like a similar like art style to the original like Fable.
Yeah. The first time I saw like Fable, I thought it was that game because I barely remembered the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been like that kind of cartoony look, fantasy medieval look.
The effects are really nice. Like I'm seeing like the lightning, the explosions. Like it looks really good. Like ahead of its time even.
Yeah, it's really good for 2005. Yeah, fun. You can be a knight, you can be an archer, you can do magic. You have a pet that's either a cat or a dog, and you can feed it fish, turn it into monsters to make it stronger.
Ooh,
and
fish.
yeah, yes, and you can catch that fish. And yeah, it's kind of long, kind of randomly generated, so it doesn't really have a plot. You randomly generate a baddie to fight a randomly generated level in the randomly generated dungeon in town. So that's why I say, like, mystery dungeon.
Yeah.
Oh.
And yeah. And you fight it, and then you get a small cutscene, and then you can pass over a single item and do it all over again.
Oh, Yeah, I like those kinds of because it gives a very heavy like risk reward and replayability.
Yeah. The only complaint's kind of long. The dungeons do drag. The dungeon levels drag a bit, but it's fun. It's worth a try at the very least.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
And that's all for me.
that sounds pretty awesome. Two very fantastical fantasy games. Let's see here. How about you, Blue? What have you been playing lately?
I got the Rabbit and Steel game recently.
Oh. Did you get a chance to try it?
Yes, I have. I died extremely fast for my first playthrough, and then like after the second one, I like started to really grasp it. And it's similar to kind of like a roguelike in that you start off and then you get like equips and level ups, and then it all resets on your next play.
Ooh.
And so I tried out a few of the classes, like the it's like the broadsword rabbit, I think it's a thief or assassin, and then the archer. And yeah, like it's really fast. It reminds me a lot of Rabby Ribby and Toho, where it's kind of like it's not quite a bullet hell, but it's in the same vein of it, where it does have some like attacks that are shots, but it's mostly like geometry that kind of like spawns, and it's like and it slides, and you're kind of like it's your movement. And some of the character builds, which is really cool, affect the movement as well. So like the assassin will do extra damage if you manage to get behind the boss that you're fighting and use your attacks. And then there's like items you can get where it can like lower the damage for it, but it's now a long range, so it gives you a lot more freedom at the sacrifice of damage. It's got a lot of risk and reward builds in it, and so I've only played it for like a day or two, but it's actually surprisingly deep. And there's a heavy modding community in like the in the fandom. So like I've been seeing a lot of like VTubers or anime fans like editing the rabbits to have like their likeness on there.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and apparently it's very similar in modding to oh my gosh, what was I forgot what game. I'll be able to I'll look it up and then be able to mention it a bit later. But it's the same modding as another popular game that people would do it on. So it's very easy for like the surface level, whereas like the deeper mechanics require a bit more effort. But yeah, it seems like it's been doing very well.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. We were talking about it a couple episodes back when I first got it. I am pretty jealous that you already unlocked the archer, because I played that game for like 9 hours and have not unlocked the archer.
Oh, is it random? It was like the first thing I unlocked.
Well, I didn't unlock anything because I'm bad.
Oh no.
Boy, I've been trying though. I've tried for 8+ hours.
It's Undertale. It uses the same. It uses the same as Undertale, so that's why it's easy for people to mod, because they can use the same Undertale modding software.
Oh, that explains everything.
So I was wondering if it was made with Game Maker, but that's like more like deep dive. But yeah, so yeah, we could always try doing co-op because I think it still unlocks stuff the same way with co-op. So.
Oh yeah, it definitely still unlocks things in co-op. I just have not beaten enough bosses to be able to unlock anything because it's so hard. I'm so bad at dodging things. I am one splattered bunny. That bunny you saw on the side of the road a couple hours ago coming home from work, 'twas me.
Rabbit and Steel.
Oh no.
But yeah, Rabbit and Steel, that's a great game. Oh, it's so fun, even though I'm terrible at it. But that's kind of just me playing shoot 'em ups. So bad at those. But I love my Tohos. I love the Tohos.
Yeah.
But the Lord knows I will never beat one. But yeah, I guess going back to the subject, I have been playing recently. I got a what's it called? I got a bucket list game. I wanted MS Saga on the PS2. MS Saga: A New Dawn. It's a Gundam game, but it's a JRPG, like turn-based.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Got pretty rare. Hard to get these days. But I managed to get a copy that has a reproduction cover. So technically it's mostly just the disc. That was pretty expensive. But not as expensive as trying to get it complete with like a manual and a original cover.
That is a haircut on the main character.
You could say that about anime. That is an anime character.
For a second, I thought that was like a robot before I zoomed in. Like, oh, it's a person with a person.
But the art direction in this game is pretty funny because like the human characters look like this, but there's the mechs are all kind of like SD style.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, they're all chibi. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all chibi, but they're still like that's like the scale they are in the game.
Yeah.
So like when like a human character is standing inside of a cockpit, that's still just how the mechs look.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's not serious, but it's like the most serious thing. The story starts out with the main character looking for vengeance for his destroyed orphanage a year ago. And then there's like this gothic Lolita girl with sunglasses.
Yeah, I just looked there. Yeah, so who's this gothic Lolita one?
She has sunglasses.
She's wearing sunglasses?
She's absolutely wearing sunglasses.
I'll send this to the
just like visually, am I supposed to be taking this game seriously? Because it has like the most serious story so far, but it's like contradictory to what I'm looking at.
Exactly. It's like every crew has.
They look like miscellaneous like Phantasy Star Online characters.
They do, yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Just like a mass of MMO characters with whatever they're allowed to equip. But yeah, so far it's a pretty solid game. I only played it for about an hour.
Cool. Very cool.
Yep, can't wait to play more, but I am kind of juggling through a bunch of RPGs at the moment because, like I said in the past couple episodes, I've also been playing Eiyuden Chronicle. And also Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince. And also Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
And also
and also Rabbit in Steel, and also Blue Reflection, and also
and the Kingdom Hearts series just came out on Steam.
Oh, like it released?
Yeah, it came out
and
Friday.
Also I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1 again, and also
they're discounted for the first month. I think they're all 30% off.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That could go down more though. Kingdom Hearts gets pretty cheap.
I'm getting it because I want to pick back up Kingdom Hearts 2 speedrunning again. I haven't done it in a few years, and so I'm going to get the Steam version for it.
Are you ready to embrace the community again, Blue? Because I know that they're ready to embrace you.
I wonder if they're still around. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to play it again because it was probably one of the more fun speedruns that I've got to play.
Yeah, no, you should play whatever game you actually like. Because speedruns take so much time out of your life. Contradictory to what you assume from the title. You just think you go through fast, but yeah, you actually played it 50 million times enough to go really fast.
Yeah.
I learned the game to its molecular level.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
There you go. Scientist Blue Infinity back on the job. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into today's topic now that we already know what we've been playing. So, there are not many forms of art and entertainment that are as immersive as video games. With this level of immersion, it is easy for the audience to become endeared to a game's world and its inhabitants. Games that players revisit often may even start to feel as if the world is a second home. So what video game worlds would you want to live in? And let's start again with Our Lady Bernaneta.
See. Well, at first I was thinking of The Sims, but then I remembered how certain players play. So my first pick would be My Sims series.
Ooh, My Sims.
It has the appeal of The Sims of being, slice of life, with more, cutesy moe anime stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's magic and robots and stuff going on. Don't worry about it. It's chill. It's a fun kind of like magic and robots. So you can just chill. Depending on the game, you can just chill. You can just make friends, wear new outfits, make friends. Depending on the game, you might need somebody to help solve minor foibles, but most problems are not, life-threatening, nor like world-ending.
Yeah.
Just like, oh no, the Rave Island is overrun with crabs. We need to scare the crabs away.
Yeah.
So yeah, my first pick be the My Sims series. Very chill, very cute, and you get to just vibe. No worries.
Oh, vibing with no worries. That sounds like the number one thing that I would have to worry about when I transform into a video game world. Where can I just vib and not die? Where can I go where the turtles won't follow?
Where's the respawn?
Exactly. How many extra lives can I pick up?
It's a cheat codes.
Oh, cheat codes. Cheat codes in life. Get me free NES games forever. But awesome pick.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Then let's go ahead and see what Blue thinks.
I guess we can piggyback off of her suggestion with Animal Crossing.
Oh.
It's probably one of the more obvious ones that can be picked, but it really is like there's a reason why it's the obvious, just like everything is rewards your effort. It's very peaceful, and you can like pick each one with a completely different like atmosphere, like City Folk versus New Leaf versus the original versus the island life, which might be a bit more difficult.
Stranded on an island.
It's like, I'm like, you're going to pay, or well, goodbye. Enjoy the island life.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Getting a really nice tan over here.
I enjoy a wet nap. Yeah,
It sounds so ridiculous out of context.
Just find them in the ocean,
Floating around.
Who's that in the water? It's just Blue taking a wet nap.
Forever. Yeah, with City Folk, it's probably a lot easier than the others because there is like an entire shopping district and a lot of needs can be solved there. But the original one's not that difficult either. Like Tom Nook does take care of things pretty well. And the neighbors are a lot more generous in the first game versus any other one. like they give you infinite supplies by just talking to them every time. It's actually quite crazy. So yeah, like it's just like peaceful in general. You get to design your own house, set up how you like it, expand. You could even just like literally just stay in a tent for the rest of your life and still be fine. It's very pleasant. And I guess in the first one you also have like a Gearoid companion that acts as like a mailbox and greets visitors. So yeah,
Wiggles when I get close.
Yeah, it's very pleasant depending on the one that you pick, and of course you can still see like your real friends too in them as well. So
And you can write them letters.
yep. It's actually surprising at how creative a lot of the letter paper in the Animal Crossing series is. Like they did easily like hundreds, and they all are so creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such nice stationery.
And there's lots of fruit you can survive on for days.
I will never get scurvy.
yeah, lots of fish, lots of red snappers and bared knife jaws, and depending on which one that you're playing.
And sea bass.
Yeah, lots of sea bass.
So much sea bass.
Sea bass.
Probably mostly sea bass.
Yeah.
It's the pun that will never die.
You can't fix perfection.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's like one that I would just easily throw out. Like that was probably like like of any of them, that would probably be the best one for me.
No, I agree. For my first pick, if I'm going to be even more specific, I would specifically choose the GameCube Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
because it's life at its most simplistic. You eat fruit. Yeah. You have the option specifically in the GameCube version to still just sit around and play your NES games.
That's true.
Peak. That's peak. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
I think was there like 8 or 10 that were in it?
I think 8, but there's 2 of them that weren't officially implemented, though they are technically in. There's like registries in the thing, something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I think you're right. Yeah, it's the first time I got to play Wario's Woods, and I became obsessed. I think it was like the real start of like my puzzle game obsession.
Oh, where it all started, the origin story. He was playing a game within a game, and all of a sudden he was the game itself.
Yeah. And here's the gateway to Puzzle League, Tetris Attack, Puyo Puyo.
Oh, his Puyo Puyo nightmares, apparently.
I'm so mad at Puyo Puyo.
According to him, though, I bet he'd still slap me across the face with some Puyo. Never have I been able to beat him.
Puzzle Fighter, Tetris. Then there's
Bubble
the game
Bobble.
Bubble Bobble.
Ooh, Bubble Bobble.
That was a good one. And then he recommended one that was like $2 on Steam and Switch.
Mm-hmm. Cassiori.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be trying that one.
Ooh.
Maybe a puzzle game I would survive in.
But yeah, still going on Animal Crossing GameCube version. It's the easiest way to pay off debts. You can actually fish all day and just live the fantasy of being debt-free one day.
Yeah.
You get a gold statue.
Get a dang old gold statue just for paying money.
Oh,
I guess it's not too far off.
Yeah, I guess so.
I wish we all got golden statues and we pay off our debts.
Yeah.
You're debt free. Have a statue. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we melted down all the money that you gave us, and well, there it is.
So that's where it went.
Yep. It had nothing to do with the actual house's expenses. But yeah, there's just such a specific charm to the first one, in my opinion. That could just be.
It's also the only one with a unique soundtrack.
Oh,
they changed the soundtrack in Wild World and stuck with that one ever since.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a whole different level if we consider that if we are living in this game world, we also hear the background music for some reason.
It's just diegetic.
Yeah, it's just diegetic. It's actually there. Wherever you go, it's like
every time I slow down, it's just
there.
It plays the music box theme from like Wild World when you start up the game. The music box for when everyone's sleeping.
Just faintly in the distance, in all directions.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't stop. It's just so much fun.
It's like musical tinnitus.
Yeah. Much more pleasant.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is also my first pick. So Bernaneta, what's your second one?
Since I recently saw a video that reminded me, I think my next pick is Harvest Moon and/or slash Story of Seasons, because you know, same series, different names, etc. It's because it's on a similar being like chill vibes, not much to worry about. You're just farming. You are like separate from like civilization, so it can get a little boring, but there's no dangers. Maybe potentially like the deity has been turned to stone, but
God is dead, but you know that's not a problem. We can still
fix it. You can fix it by selling turnips somehow.
Just like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, exactly.
I fix all my problems with turnips. That's why I got the statue.
Yes. Yeah, you can get married, you can just raise animals, you can fish. People are reasonably nice.
Yeah.
And it's all just, you're in the countryside, so there's no pollution. So just chill. It's very nice, chill vibes. And yeah.
And it's really like absolutely gorgeous too. Like I remember another Wonderful Life. It's really nice.
Oh yeah. Another Wonderful Life is very good. It's like peak. Like it really nails down that kind of like, it's like realistic, but also not like gritty. It's just like like you're just chilling at your grandpa's farm, and that's very nostalgic and comforting. You know, people are nice and have their own stories. So yeah, that's my second pick, rather, Harvest Moon.
That is also a little bit of a nostalgic pick, because I only ever played one Harvest Moon game, and that was the one on the PS1.
Save the Village?
It might have just been A Wonderful Life. Hold on, because I swear like every other time I try to look at it, I
think there's two of them. Wonderful Life was also on the GameCube. It had the enhanced version on the PS2. So that might have been it.
Maybe.
Have all the fancies.
Another Wonderful Life.
Yeah, that's one you get to be a girl.
Yeah, with one of the cooler looking protagonists.
Ooh, I get to be a cute girl.
Yeah.
Yes, but only in another.
She's easily like my favorite design in the series, which is probably very basic and simple for someone to say, but it really like stuck with me.
The double ponytail, that's definitely very iconic.
Let's see, the one that I played was Back to Nature.
Oh.
Yes, that's what Google says.
That's the name of this episode.
Back to Nature.
Yes.
Whatnot, Back to Nature. But,
the naturing.
The natureception.
Electric Boogaloo.
But how about you, Blue? What other worlds are you looking to live in?
I guess for my last like life sim genre one, I was going to bring up Recettear.
Whoa, Recettear.
Yeah, so Recettear is, for those who don't know, I think it was an indie game. But it's basically you're the owner of a RPG shop, and your goal is to just basically like make money, pay off a massive debt that your parents had accumulated and they disappeared.
Oh.
And so the debt collector is this fairy that follows you around, and so since your parents own a shop, she's like, well, you're just going to have to pay off this debt through the shop. And so you can go to town, buy things at wholesale, and then raise the price a bit to try to make a little bit of profit. But it's also a dungeon crawler where you can pay adventurers to go through a dungeon for you, and you get to keep the loot, and they get their payment. And so if the adventurer like faints or HP hits 0, then you only get one item that they can crawl back with, and so it's got a pretty funny story. There's a thief character for one of the people you can hire who's like, I feel like a lot of people have seen her but just never knew she was from Recettear. Same with the protagonist. They probably have seen her around in memes but never knew. But yeah, it's a really fun game that I think is actually the reason I have Steam. It was like the first time I ever installed Steam was to get this game.
Oh wow!
And it's a lot of fun. You get really into like haggling prices because you can like if you charge too high, they like have the NPC respond because adventurers are coming in, for buying equipment, buying healing potions or food. For their dungeon crawling, and so you can actually haggle the price where if you charge too high, they'll be like, well, can you do it a little lower? And then it's up to you if you decide to, and you can like lower it a certain amount to kind of see how they respond, or you could just say no and see if they they break, and they're like, okay, fine, like I really need this.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really fun game, very charming art style as well, and so yeah, it's a very fun world, and it seems there's not really any like dangers outside of the dungeons that it seems, but it's also like a world filled with like adventurers and competent fighters, and so like I wouldn't mind just owning a shop, just relaxing, but also like still having the bustle of like rush hour, people like trying to get in there, and then you have the calm again. So I think it would be a really fun world to really relax and just do business and live your life.
There is something to be said about the fact that the best worlds to live in are the ones where we have debt.
It's just like real life. Nothing's changed.
I mean, better debt than a face-eating dragon, I guess.
That's true. That is true.
Better debt than dead, I always say.
Yeah.
The price we pay. The price we pay. But I'm pretty sure Recettear is an indie game. But it's like this might just be me, but back in those days, it felt like indie games kind of had certain status to them. You know what I mean? These days, you make a game on Unity and you get to talk smack about person making a game on Unity because Unity, whatever. Yeah. Discourse about engines because people just know what an engine is these days, I guess. But back in the day, games were made magically out of thin air, and the fact that it exists is magic in itself.
Yeah, I mean, like, back then they had like a similar kind of thing where it was like, you know, the asset swap games, ones that were just kind of thrown on Steam once it kind of like lowered the barrier of entry. So it felt a bit kind of like the old NES days where like anyone could make a game, or like the Atari days where they literally could just throw a game together, put it on the shelf, charge $60, and there wasn't really any like marketing or like any real like trailers. So it was just, you go to the store like, all right, this box art, how accurate? Let's see what we get.
Had to go off the blurb in the back.
Yeah, and I guess renting was more prominent back then too.
Yeah.
Now people just buy on Steam and then just refund if they don't like it, as opposed to just renting it for a day and seeing how they like it. Or Redbox, that used to be big, where you rented it and then you just decided you want to buy it or not.
Oh yeah.
There's also a lot like a game journalism is like more of a thing.
Yeah.
Where before you can only get reviews if you're to buy it or something.
Yeah, or like a magazine.
Yeah.
It's like, I got Nintendo Power.
Game Informer, that's what I used to like reading.
Yeah.
Because GameStop gave it to me.
Yep, I came with everything.
Yep. And also G4 used to be a thing that people watched.
Yeah.
Game trailers, Screw Attack.
Yeah.
YouTubers were starting to become a thing. So,
Giant Bomb.
Yep, Giant Bomb. Yep.
Yes.
Machinima. Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very different era.
Very different.
But
I miss it.
It was pretty crazy. Like over a decade ago, when you used to be able to go to a convention and see like a Recettear T-shirt.
Oh yeah. A Recettear T-shirt.
Yep. My brother bought one at a convention. I'm pretty sure it was at a convention. We used to have one.
Yeah. It's a very different like kind of convention. I don't know if it's like a culture. Like it feels like nowadays it's like I mean, I guess it's kind of out of necessity that it's like 80 or 90% like just whatever's the most popular thing at the time. Like when I went to a convention recently, just about every single artist alley was entirely Hoyoverse, like Genshin and Honkai. Like there was like almost nothing else related to like any anime or games. But like there was like a little bit here, like the 10%. So I got a few like Chrono Trigger, which I was shocked that anyone made art of. Final Fantasy IX, which was really nice. Ace Attorney, but like almost everything was entirely like Genshin, and a lot of them you could really see that it was because it was like, you know, what people are buying, because a lot of them kind of seem like kind of out of character kind of thing, where it's like not really like an expression or pose that they would do, but they know it's iconic character. So I do kind of miss a little the old ones where you would just see like all sorts of different animes, all sorts of different games, fan art, create a lot of creations. But I know it's like very expensive nowadays to even get a booth at convention, so they need to make it back. So it's kind of like a catch-22. It's like
I heard tables are like basically quadrupled just in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
and like it's always been kind of a popularity contest, but it's definitely gotten a lot harder where you have to like do like marketing and stuff to and like know what's popular and stuff.
Yeah.
To
You have
just
do
to
market
break
research.
even. Yes.
Yeah, like there was one booth at this convention that I went to, and it was all perlers, like it's like kind of like pixel art, but
those.
Yeah, and they were like $120 each.
Oh my god!
I never looked at the price of those. I never looked at the price of them.
Yeah, I was like, I really want to do it, and he didn't have the prices listed anywhere, and I was like, I don't want to ask, and so like I heard somebody else ask, and I was like, what? Because they were really cool, but I was like, I cannot justify.
I hope part of that price is the labor.
Yeah,
of like doing it.
Yeah, and so it's like, but I do feel like the price is heavily with like he probably doesn't sell a lot because it's a very niche kind of thing. While at the same, he needs to get enough to justify having gone there.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult kind of position to be in, and so it's very different today than it was in like 1999.
Another thing that's changed is companies know what conventions are now, so companies don't like fan art. They don't like people making money off their IP, so they're a little more IP happy.
That's true.
Little cease and desisting. And I think Hoyoverse in specific is actually very openly chill with that, so that kind of contributes to the popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an interesting take there. I have just noticed that Hoyoverse has just been dominant for the past few years as far as convention fan art goes.
They really shifted their like perception as well, because I remember when Genshin Impact first released, it was very light, and like it was constantly compared to Breath of the Wild, where it was very, very similar, but they really expanded to where now it's just a completely different, like it's almost unrecognizable to when it first released. Like to the point where that one guy crushed his PS3 in protest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he took it and just smashed it on the floor like, it's a scam! It's a steal! They're stealing! Yeah, but yeah, now it's like it's completely unrecognizable to where like you would look at when it launched and it's like an entirely different world. Yeah.
I played it a little bit like the first year or so, like up to when like the Inazuma like released. And it's definitely like it's like grown a lot since then, and I keep seeing fan art. I know it's like Genshin, and like who's this?
Yeah.
Whose Blorbo is this? Whose waifu is this? Hello.
Yeah. And then with Honkai on top of it. Very. They've definitely like grown into like you can't even like accuse it of it anymore. Like with how different of a direction it took.
Yeah.
But I still have to climb on stuff and have waifu there, Blue.
That's true. Would you like to live in the Genshin world?
Yes. I want to be able to pray to the heavens and give them a bunch of jewels for the slight possibility that a cute girl will fall into my hands.
Would you
and
pay
sometimes you get a magic rock, sometimes. Also from the gods.
Yep.
Or some dude. Like, can you take him back, please?
What if you had to pay off Mona's debt?
I'll pay her debt. I'll pay her bills.
Oh man, when I learned her story, it was so funny. She's like, yep. Well, probably like, I wish I could live in Animal Crossing right now.
See, that's how you know it's the best world. She has debt. This is the best world to live in.
Yeah. Maybe she's one who was like, I want to live in the Genshin world, and that.
She's an isekai the entire time.
And so a very unforgiving god with a monkey's paw said, "All right, there you go.
Hope you like mushrooms." I don't even remember what your original pick was there, Blue.
Recettear.
That's a good game.
Sounds fun.
The true game is conventions. That's the game I want to live in.
I mean, it's tangential. Like, I'm sure Recette would sell some like fan art of Genshin to the adventurers to inspire them to come back.
To raise morale.
Yeah.
There we go. But I guess I'll toss in my next pick, and this is another pretty easy pick from me. Kirby. I want to live in the Kirby world. I will
Which
surrender my
one?
life. Kirby Team 3.
Well, at least you'll have Samus in that one.
Oh, sweet. Samus there.
Yep.
It has so many. Who else is in there? That was like the original Smash Bros. They had so many guest characters in Kirby's Dream Land 3.
Yeah, they even had that Japanese only game.
That other Japanese only game.
Yeah, I guess there was a lot of them. Yeah,
It was basically just Nintendo going to all the U.S. audience and being all like, "You don't know what you're playing right now."
I'm just imagining you like waking up from a wet nap and you just see Gooey staring you in the eyes.
I don't like the idea of Gooey watching me have a wet nap.
The name fits a little too well.
Yeah, Gooey.
But I would go nuts. Also, somehow there's no debt here. As far as I know, I don't think I ever had to pay a debt as Kirby.
Wow.
Do we? Hold on. What was Great Cave Offensive about again? I know there was money involved.
It was just an adventure.
It was just an adventure. We happened to get treasure at the end of it.
Yeah.
Does Team DDD have taxes? I wonder.
He steals everyone's like food.
That's
food
taxes.
tax.
Yeah, food tax.
But also, you kind of just find food on the ground, so it's not that bad. When was the last time I found money on the ground? Can't do that here. Can't do that. No, you could do that in Animal Crossing. I was about to lie.
You just have to hit rocks for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be totally cool to live in the Kirby world. Basically any game, because I think most games take place in the same world, except like what's it called? The one where the world is like pants. Why am I blanking on it? Epic Yarn.
Yeah.
Kirby's Epic Yarn. That was technically a different world.
Oh.
It also had a unique hairstyle for Adeline, right? Like, I don't think she ever got that hairstyle back, right?
In what, Dreamland 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But that depends on if you want to count Ado and Adeline as the same character.
Yeah, because I know it's heavily argued between the fans if it's the same character or not. Like, they're always arguing. Like, it's obviously the same character. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Adeline's hair is different. Did you not notice?
Yeah. It's like, do you not? It's like, people don't change hairstyles.
You don't
It's
do
true.
that.
Yeah.
You have the same hairstyle since birth.
Yep.
It's hard coded.
It's in your DNA.
Yes.
I'll send a screenshot so that Bernaneta can see. There's the current version, and then the one in that screenshot above is how she looks in the Super Nintendo. So they are either the same character or completely different.
Oh. She just combed her bangs out of her face.
The transformation just swooped the hair.
It's like Superman, you know? You just put on the
Exactly.
Who are you?
That's a different
Perfect
person.
disguise.
What did you do with the dough?
So yeah, it's fun watching the arguments about it over just literally bangs.
Well, you see, they're used to characters with no hair at that point.
Yeah, so
True.
when you do transport there, I guess you could just ask her, what's your name?
What's your name? And she's like, oh, my name's Jocelyn. I'm like, excuse me?
I'm just Jocelyn.
And then I'll take it to the grave because nobody was supposed to know that.
No one would ever believe you.
Yeah, no one would ever believe you.
There was
like,
never an Ado or an Adeline.
We can't tell anyone.
But yeah, any Kirby world sounds pretty great as long as it's not Shiver Star, because that sounds depressing because that is frozen Earth, post-apocalyptic Earth. But if I stay on Pop Star, that sounds pretty cool.
Until Dark Matter arrives.
Shh. Kirby will take care of it. Space God Kirby will take care of it. All of the eldritch horrors that attack the universe in the Kirby series.
Well, once they started crying blood, I was like, this is uncomfortable.
It's like, oh, I saw 02 today, and I don't think I'll be able to sleep. But you are always sleeping in Dreamland, Blue.
Yeah, I guess it's in the name.
At least I don't have to pay debts. I'll say that one.
That's probably
Very
why
true.
there's Eldritch Horrors there.
The debts are the load-bearing, load-bearing difficulty that keeps the world from collapsing.
Yeah, that's what keeps everyone like on track.
Then it goes away, the monsters come.
Yeah.
But how about your next pick, Bernaneta?
I was thinking something slightly more on since we've been mostly doing like chill games. I'm thinking of something a bit more on excitement.
Ooh.
Exciting. Splatoon.
Splatoon.
Get to be a squid kid or an octopus kid, and just it's like mostly like modern day where it's but way more fashionable.
Yeah.
And all conflict is more or less, or more or less handled with like paintball fights, more or less. Sure, there's some like disasters occasionally, but it's usually just just chilling, just hitting people with paint. The only downside is you can't swim because ink and water don't mix. But otherwise, it just you have fun, shoot paint, get lots of fashion, and just chill like real life. I don't think there's debts. I don't think.
No,
but there is capitalism.
Yeah, it's just buying weapons and clothing and fashion.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah,
it's like everything I don't got.
So you might get a part-time job that start paying for your fashion and clothing choices, or just keep doing more paintball fights. And and everyone's a fish, and everyone looks cool.
Yeah,
everyone's a cool fish. 10 out of 10 would live.
Yes.
Right?
What Squid Kid again?
And they're always looking for hires at the what's it called? That game mode where you're
Grisco?
Is that the company where it's the salmon run?
Yeah, I think that's Grisco.
Yeah, they're always hiring.
Yeah.
They always need help. God knows they need help.
It's terrifying, but you don't die, so.
Yep, it's scary. You're like, what is that? And the concerts are great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's always such a cool thing.
You get to give your opinion and get a T-shirt.
Oh, true.
Oh.
The Splatfests.
Yeah.
I wish I could get T-shirts for my opinions. I'd have so much fashion.
What do I have a game for you?
I'm sorry, Bernaneta, but if it doesn't have debt, I'm not living there.
Having to be a slave to fashion and/or Grisco is its own debt.
Yeah, it can never be paid. And and like a kind of introduction to like kind of the idol culture as well for a lot of people is very fun, because like people still talk about the different idol groups like just the same way as people would for like real idol groups. So it's really fun seeing it.
Before there were VTuber idols, they were fish idols.
Fish idols, yeah. Yeah, people arguing if Off the Hook is better than the Squid Sisters versus oh my gosh, I'm blanking on for Shiver and
the one with Fireman in it.
Yeah, I forgot their name. Something up, I think.
I also forgot.
Yeah, like now that I needed to. Yeah, now that I could have said it 5 seconds ago, but now that I had to.
It's been too long since I played 3.
Yeah.
I need to...
And I'm just pretending that I know what the game is. Yeah, Squid.
Yeah, it's very fun, and it's easy to like lose like track of time because like Turf War is just so addictive.
Yeah.
And they and during like Splatfest, you actually hear like the idol singing during him as well, which really adds a lot to it. Like it's such a small detail, but it adds a lot.
And the whole like hub area is fully decked out with you know, like everything, and it's just so just so fun.
I hope if they do make a fourth one that it has like real-time lobbies where you could actually have like your friends standing around and playing around during those events in the hub area.
They
like kind of like Phantasy Star.
Ooh, yeah. That'd be really cool. They kind of sort of have like a first step of that, I think, with like in 3D. If everyone in your group you can hang out in the same like loading area while you wait for the match to load. So like extending that to like the whole hub area would be very cool.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that's my pick, Splatoon.
That sounds pretty awesome, being able to be a professional Squid Kid. But how about you, Blue? What's your next one?
I'm gonna go ahead and throw out Pokemon.
Oh, Pokemon!
Oh yeah.
It's just an entire like world. Like there's so much to it that you can do with like as far as like sports, competition, just living, farming, just even like this obnoxious as like Puzzle League. There's just all sorts of like ways that you can like look at it and go through it, and it's so fascinating, all the aspects of it, and it does seem like it could be a lot of fun as well. Like, God, man, it's just where do you even start with that kind it's such a huge like roster there. Like, and then there's all the different regions, like trying to think which one's like the one based on France and United States, Japan. It's just like there's all sorts of like aspects to it to really like hunker down, similar to how we mentioned with Animal Crossing, the like those specifics of each one. Like the world tournaments in Unova, the like where you got to actually fund or found a Pokemon League in
Alola, yeah.
Yeah, just like there's so many like different aspects, and then you just like there's a really cool so they released a few anime series on YouTube exclusively, and one of them shows the scene in Johto with the Kimono girls telling the legend of Ho-Oh and Lugia, and the way that they do the play, all the special effects are done with Pokemon attacks. And it's so fascinating and creative that it's like it's easily one of my favorite shows for that Pokemon has put out. Like it's just beautiful. So it's just like there's so much like creativity that you can go through as well, where you like you don't necessarily need to do the battles or like fight evil or deal with like the crime organizations. Like sometimes like one of the evil organizations in Sword and Shield was just fanboys. So it's
the most terrifying of all.
Yeah. So yeah, and in that one they treated the league as a sports where it's a seasonal. So once the season comes up, it starts doing the gym leader challenge, where you will go through and it's like televised and it's treated like a sports league. And so there's so many aspects that you can go for that it's such a fun idea to think about.
Very cool, yeah. And you can also just chill at home with like your skitty or something.
Yeah. And like there's also the cooking recipe games, the art studio games for Pokemon, the Puzzle League.
Photography.
Yeah, photography. Yes, photography. Because even Professor Oak needs someone to actually get photos of some of these. So yeah, it's just there's so many and it like you can really apply anyone's like job or like hobbies into the Pokemon world, and it just like there could be some drawbacks, but a lot of it is just really enhanced with that kind of magic. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, totally.
Very cool.
And unlike many other game worlds, Nintendo systems still exist in the Pokemon universe.
That's true.
Yeah.
So if I were to be a bum and not go out and walk 1,000,000 miles across the region, I could just sit home, play with my Nintendo Switch.
And your skitty.
And my skitty. I could stay home and play with my skitty.
Or what's the movie? Put the train tracks to Take On You or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When the first game.
Yeah. Just chill.
But So I have become a pretty big Ultraman fan within the past few years, right?
Go on.
And I was lying in bed. And I was lying in bed and I realized that Pokemon is actually the utopian world with total balance between monsters and humans that Ultraman strives to get. So, my pick is also the Pokemon world, kind of for that fact. They actually achieved peace between Pokemon and humanity for the most part. For the most part, they're not going around and destroying cities. For the most part.
Usually.
Yeah, usually.
Usually. I mean, it's not at the same frequency as what you see in Ultraman.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. All right, here we go. It's like, so have you guys heard of Godzilla? Oh my god. What a world, am I right?
What a world.
You really value humanity and hope. Because there is none. Either of those.
Oh no.
You value what you don't got, Blue. But I do bring up Ultraman because much of Pokemon is inspired by Ultraman.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the concept of capsule monsters comes straight from Ultra 7. A lot of just designs for Pokemon come inspired from the Ultra series as well.
Am I wrong? Whereas like Bisharp one of those?
Probably. If I had like my Pokedex on me, I'd be able to say probably. You know Schmogladarner? Yeah, that's totally a thing inspired by Ultraman because I know that at the top of my head. Smeefus, that Pokemon.
There is a lot.
All thousands of them. At least 5 got to be inspired by Ultraman.
There's one.
But there is something to be said about the fact that much of the Pokemon world just feels so gamified. You can, in some, according to whichever region, you can, at the ripe old age of 10 years old, can strike out and, I don't know, find a wife, probably.
Oh no.
Become the strongest in the world.
Is that why people like Gardevoir so much?
Let's go.
Well, Blue, why don't you answer that for me?
Gardevoir, yeah. My mascot's a shiny Gardevoir.
So at the ripe old age of 10, Blue went out and found his wife.
13, though.
I was at least 13 before I found my Gardevoir wife. And boy, did she glitter.
It's what you learn the Japanese name.
But yeah, but it's such a world rich in just mythology.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of living myths, a lot of things for you to go and look at a wall painting in a cave and go, did that actually happen? And then you trip on a rock and find that, yes, it actually did happen. There goes God right there above me.
And it's about to attack.
He's about to attack.
And then I just have my Caterpie just tank the entire attack for me, and then I run away.
There was a parody back when I was in high school that it had it was around the time when like Diamond and Pearl was new, and it showed the protagonists looking at their Pokedex like, okay, so we've found all of the major elements, space, time, all periodic elements. What's there left? And then Dawn goes, there's only one place left to go. We go for God. Nope, we got that one too.
Oh, that one sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Was that an old Kerbifer one?
It was in that collection, yeah.
Nintendo, yeah. From Chris Niosi and a bunch of
so people
brands.
really didn't know where they would go with Gen 5. Like, because they were like, yeah, where do we go from here?
The answer was concepts.
Yep.
Have you tried questioning morality?
Yeah. It was like the most popular one, like still today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Black and White. Like it was so popular they canceled the 3rd version to do a sequel because it was so well received.
Oh, that might have happened.
Yeah, they were going to, and then they saw just how huge N was. Like people were clamoring for more of the characters. So like, oh, we just got to make a sequel now, like because they really wanted to make it to where N never showed up again. They thought that it was just perfect to end there, which I would still be fine with because it really was a perfect ending. But yeah, like the fans actually convinced them to just straight up do a sequel.
In my mind, that's kind of where like when like Pokemon stories like became like its own thing, because like they always had stories, but they didn't like really pop off until like Black and White.
Yeah, Black and White. There was definitely like the big focus there.
Yeah, had actual character development.
Yeah, it was like the older ones. It was mostly like a kind of like not really fan theory, but it was like a lot of like details that you really had to kind of like expand on yourself, and then most would just go to like the manga or the anime for like more like a story driven thing. But yeah, like Black and White, it definitely was like the forefront. Like the most like you kind of saw signs of it with Cynthia in Diamond and Pearl with the mythology, because that was her entire thing, was just the mythology of everything, and how much she was obsessed with it. And then Steven a little bit like, but yeah, like definitely 100% that Black and White really started where they wanted to go. And then like the most extreme of it was Alola, where it was just pure like art, like a typical role playing game with how many cutscenes and story beats and Lucamine. Just like that one definitely like went this. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one was great. Very hard to replay though, with like it takes 3 hours to get out of the beginning.
But yeah, would totally be cool to live in the Pokemon world, even though if you asked me like 15 years ago, I'd probably still say the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's still like one of the best choices. Such a cool world. And at this point, it's developed enough to be all like, yeah, it's totally a livable world to be in. But yeah, what else to add, Bernadetta? What's next on your list?
I'm thinking of this little MMORPG that I know, Mabinogi.
Oh, wow.
Mostly because it kind of like encapsulates both like the chill vibes of you can just relax, but it's also an option for action if you're not a coward. Unlike if you're not a coward, I am a coward.
Like if you're built different.
if you are the Giga Chattest of all, you can fight. But also, a key point is, this is assuming if we're just being isekai, that in Mabinogi, the characters are all militanes, which are like basically people being isekai'd into the world. And because they're not from that world, they function a lot differently. Namely, they can't die. So
very good pick.
Yeah, they can be beaten to unconsciousness, but they can't like die. They can so that's kind of like how they explain respawning. So
yeah.
So that's kind of, so if you do want action, you can do it without major consequences. You can also like, you can change your appearance. You can at will change gender. You can also like reset your age between like 10 or 17 and all that. You can do like MMO stuff of learning magic, being a knight, learning ninja stuff, puppetry, violent puppetry. You can be a bard, or you can just chill, make, cook. You can like make clothes. You can like make armor. You can just mine. You can just like cut wood and make little stuff. You can like have a homestead and just chill. So yeah, it's kind of like the best of both action and also like chill vibes.
Yeah, it's still going even today too. I'm pretty sure it's still really popular. Yeah,
it kind of helps that it's kind of like, since it's older, it's easier to run, so cheaper to run.
Yeah.
And it's still going on. I think that it's on like generation 26 or something, like storyline wise.
Yeah, it's been around since I was a kid.
It released in like 2004 and came over in 2008, and it's been going on ever since.
Yeah.
So, and it's still getting updates. It's still getting, I think it's getting an engine like rework.
Yeah,
it's like
real engine.
It's gonna get some modern new graphics.
Yeah,
Impressive.
Unreal Engine 5.
Which I'm kind of mixed on. I like the crunchy.
Yeah, it's definitely a style that you don't really see much anymore, so
Yeah.
a little sad.
You gotta love the low poly animals and anime. Even if
it was around the time that the eyes were like way further apart on anime characters.
Yeah, like that one picture of like with the bug-eyed little moe girl.
Yeah. It's very much a part of its time. Like
and the big hair.
Yeah.
The Goku like hair.
Yep. Very nostalgic.
It's a very magical vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like my old school anime, but if you want to ask me what is nostalgic to me, it's definitely that time period.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to play RuneScape and Luna Online and Trickster.
You can play one of those.
Yeah.
Best I could do is one of them. Otherwise, let's just go play Final Fantasy 14, I guess.
There's the tail.
Oh,
True,
those were the days. Those were the days.
Dragon Nest.
Maple Story.
Maple Story. Oh,
That one's still running.
Yeah.
At least.
They remember Maple Story too.
No.
Oh, no. It was around, I think, 6 months before it shut down.
Yeah, it was not well received.
No.
Mabinogi was almost going to have a sequel too, but they canceled it because it looked too much like what's that?
Yeah.
Like realistic one that they made. I forget. It just looked not fantasy lifey enough.
Yeah. Wasn't there actually literally in Maple Story 2 the Fortnite bus?
Fortnite bus?
I think there was a Fortnite bus where you actually got on it and you flew over and then you jumped out onto the world.
What?
Yeah, I swear I'm not making this up. And people would also just take every single copyrighted image and just make custom everything. It was so funny. It's like a fever dream. You're just but did this really happen? Yeah. I swear I'm not making it up.
Maybe it was all a dream. That's why.
Right.
That's why the game went kaput.
Yeah. I was like, you guys remember Maple Story 2? Nope. Straight face. It was so no. Yeah, so Mabinogi definitely it was definitely a magical time.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, there's so much that you can say. But yeah, it's definitely one of them I can totally see.
Heck yes. It's one of the few MMOs only MMO in fact I got merch of.
Yeah.
I have the little acrylic stand of the missing warriors and now.
I wonder if I'll get any MMO merch. I mean, I guess for people, Final Fantasy 14 would count.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a lot of Final Fantasy 14 merch.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet there is.
But yeah, very cool choosing an MMO. I actually have not played that many MMOs. I can't really talk too much about worlds and MMOs
Me
that
neither.
I want to live in. But there was just this time period where I was trying a bunch of MMOs with Blue.
Oh.
And just one of the ones that I stuck around with for a while was Recettear.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
What's that one about?
It's very Maple Story adjacent. The art style is a little bit more detailed. It's still a 2D MMO.
A 2D side-scrolling.
Yeah, I think it's still around. They have a mobile version that they are really pushing, which is almost identical to the actual game itself. But
Yeah, it's still around. It still gets updates. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it switched hands 3 or 4 times.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. So I definitely don't have my old characters. If I
they
were to
reset
try again.
accounts 4 times.
Lost to the Aether.
Yeah. But
it's cool that it's actually still alive.
Yeah.
I think it's from the same devs as Ragnarok, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I heard that one. Yeah.
But yeah, before we go too far into the MMO tangent,
Yeah.
Blue, what is your next world?
Last one I have written down is Super Mario Sunshine.
Super Mario Sunshine, he's getting goopy. Give this guy a wet nap.
Yeah. It has a criminal justice system. It has.
If you can arrest a plumber, you know it's right.
It has tons of beautiful locations, great atmosphere, friendly-ish locals.
They're pretty chill. You could be a complete jerk to them and they'll just shrug it off and keep
you just
dancing.
on their heads and they're just like, well, man, that rapscallion.
There he goes. I hope he gets arrested. But yeah.
Mario like waterboarding somebody and they're just like, hey.
They are strangely calm about being around a criminal, quote unquote.
Yeah, there's just like wanted posters everywhere, and you just see Mario's face just looking at you.
He's looking at you, he's spraying you with water and jumping on your friend's head, and they're still like, he might be a criminal, but it's not proven yet.
And grabbing the fruit from your fruit stand to feed to his dinosaur egg. And you're just like, you know what? You can have it, bro. You can have it. Yeah, it has a theme park, it has resorts, hotels, very, very scary shadow manta rays.
Oh yeah, that was scary, wasn't it? It's just flying across the world. and you just kind of have to accept that that's a thing that happens.
Yeah, haunted hotels, but also has a casino that's also haunted.
As one does.
Yeah. It's like, well, you know, maybe I shouldn't be gambling today. I'm haunted.
Blame the bad luck and ghosts.
Yeah, it's the ghosts. I swear they're dragging you out. No, I swear. Random caves that take you to bottomless pits.
It's the best.
As one does.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to live there?
Yeah, but it is very, very beautiful, and it's really cool in like the gameplay aspect, where the further in you go, the brighter the world is, because the light is being restored dynamically.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So it does make you feel like you have agency in your life. I can't do that in my everyday life. Just progress, and all of a sudden, you know what? My light bulbs work a little bit better.
Yeah. So it's very nice, and you even like it even has like the kind of like the heat effects from when it's really hot out, and it's kind of like a shimmer.
Oh, yeah, I like the mirage.
Yeah,
mirage I don't even know how they do that.
Yeah, it's very incredible.
Like, what is that effect?
I don't see it often.
Yeah, Nintendo games. It's also why, like, when you emulate Nintendo games, that a lot of the visuals kind of like are a little funky because like they use like some of the hardware features that are unique to the hardware itself to implement it, like kind of like the effect in Ocarina of Time with Dark Link, where the room is in water and then it slowly fades to the temple again after you win. That doesn't work very well on like emulator, not even like the Switch Online version.
Yeah, not even Nintendo can do what Nintendo does.
Yeah, not yet.
Nintendo, what Nintendo?
Yeah. Yeah, so that would definitely be one.
But oh yeah, if you're gonna choose like a Mario World, probably like what was that island called in Mario Sunshine? Delfino. Yeah, that's it. Isle Delfino. I can at least understand why Mario and Peach chose that as a vacation spot, because it is beautiful.
Yeah, they landed and he immediately got attacked by a piranha that's in toxic waste and then got arrested.
And am I ridiculous? Am I ridiculous in thinking that like the goop, the ink, does look a little bit delicious?
It do look like chocolate.
It do look like chocolate. And it's like smothered on everything. You just want to and then realize that it's actually just ink, and then I start just spewing. Hopefully I brought that wet nap.
Just like real life.
Your own personal flood.
Yeah.
There we go. You got help. I'm making a bigger mess. You didn't tell me to not eat the ink. But they shouldn't have made it look delicious. Kind of like gel pens back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Those
Go
used to
on.
look delicious.
With the
I
little
never
glitter.
ate one. But my goodness, did I ever want to like make like a little pool of it like on a paper and then just
Man, you guys ever
part
see
of-
Blue?
Blue.
You ever see just the color blue?
Oh, man, or like, man, so I have this bucket of paint, right?
Go on.
Yeah, it's like,
Indeed.
I left it outside in the sun a bit, so now there's paint chips. Oh man, get a little baggie of them.
Get some fresh paint and make some paint dip.
Paint dip. It's like paint chips and dip.
Yes.
Blue flavored.
Lead.
My tongue's all stained now. I better put some bleach on it.
Don't forget the arsenic.
Yeah. I'll get a little Tide Pod.
Goodness.
Okay, guys, I know I led this.
It's just I understand that we just now need to remove our kidneys.
We're leaving Isle Delphine.
we crave the forbidden snacks.
The forbidden snacks.
This is what we get for choosing a world with no debts.
Yeah. 1999 was a very different time.
But you know what? Speaking of blue, I want to live in the world of blue reflection.
Go on.
But I will be specific. I'll be a whole lot more specific. I want to be in Blue Reflection Second Light, and I want to live in the school that works as the hub for most of the game. Because otherwise, I will absolutely 100% be dead. But the world of the school itself, it's pretty cool. It's like a mysterious amalgamation of the schools that everybody that's currently there has experienced. So it's not like an actual place. It's kind of like a surreal dream world school.
Yeah, because it kind of avoids it's like, yeah, I want to live in this game. Oh, just Japan?
Just Japan at school?
Yeah.
You could do that right now. Just accept the debt.
Yeah.
Just get on the plane.
Yeah, just get on the plane. Isle Japan awaits.
But no, it's really cool. Over at this weird school world, you could kind of build whatever you want with whatever scraps of things that you pick up from the other dreamlike worlds. And just the laws of physics don't really apply. You could build like a spaceship that will maybe work, play with the buttons a little bit. Or you could just kind of make like food stands and that are also functional and work.
School.
Do you have debts to pay off?
You don't have debts to pay off, which, you know, clearly is a downside. And then there's a pool that you could go inside with all your friends, and it looks really nice. At some point, it's a heated pool.
Double ooh.
And you're just kind of in a constant state of summer vacation, but also it's at a school with no responsibilities.
Heck yeah.
Except possibly the end of the world, but you know, you don't have to choose to worry about that.
That's somebody else's problem.
That is someone else's problem. I'm just a person that lives here. But yeah, I would totally like to live there. All the perks of being a teenager without any other responsibilities. Also has so many cute girls. There are so many cute girls in Blue Reflection. I love all of them.
Very good.
I would high five all of them.
in the pool.
I put them in the pool. But yeah.
The wettest nap.
The wettest snap. Goodness gracious.
Oh my god.
This is why we get debts.
Or another destroying everyone.
Just wiping everything out.
Yeah.
Getting us all sanitized. But yeah, that's a whole lot of worlds to be living in, and it's all fantastic choices. But yeah, I think that does lead us into the conclusion of the episode. But before we go, Bernaneta, if people need more Bernaneta action in their lives, where can they find you?
I am Bernaneta on Twitch, Bernaneta CH on YouTube, where I post VODs of all my previous streams and sometimes shorts. I'll work on that later. And I also have a link tree that with my Twitter, formerly known as X, TikTok, Tumblr, all that. Mostly I'm on Twitch. If you catch me live on Mondays around 4 p.m. CST.
Awesome. And if people need more Blue Infinity in their lives, Blue, where can they find you?
Just Blue Infinity 22 on Twitch and YouTube. I'll be starting up Kingdom Hearts 2 relearning at some point.
Oh, he is for real about the Kingdom Hearts 2 stuff.
Yeah.
It is time.
And of course, if you want more Action Smacchan, you could go ahead and subscribe to this channel, Pixel Smacchan, or you could go to the main channel, youtube.com/@Action Smacchan. I'm also hanging out on Twitter. Sometimes I post pictures of food. Also on Instagram, I do the same thing. Both of them are @Action Smacchan. But yeah, thank you all so much for being here. We will see you in the next Smacchan Pact adventure.